Hello everybody, it's Lisa. So it must be Thursday. I have to apologize for not being on last week. I had a little bit of a computer issue. It was ugly. Very, very ugly. And Addie, I'm sorry. I'm not syncing up. I know. I just don't have the wherewithal to deal with it tonight. So, it's Thursday. I've had a rough couple of weeks. I've had some really, really good things happen. And I've had some really, really crappy things happen. On the crappy side is work stuff. Let's let it stay there. I don't want to talk about it. On the good side, well, as Lizzie mentioned, yay! Landquest Book 5, Landquest Book 5. So yes, Book 5 is out. I'm selling really, really well. I'm very, very happy with the way things are going. And yeah. Sometimes it's good to be an author. Questions. I was not around last week for the question of what would we change. I didn't mind the epilogue. Sorry, Ash. Loved seeing you, by the way. Hi. I think I was kind of like other people. I felt there wasn't a sense of closure with a lot of things. I can totally see where Josh is coming from on the whole Tonks and Remus thing. For me, I will still maintain to this day that I could have cared less to hear about Percy on that platform in the epilogue. Didn't need to hear Percy's voice coming out of the fog. What I would have loved to see is Dutters coming out with his own 11-year-old getting on the train for the first time. I thought that would be kind of the closure that would be needed for that whole story arc. And I thought that that would absolutely be brilliant, that all of a sudden Dudley, whose family had been so against magical influences his entire life, grows up, gets married, and has a kid that goes to Hogwarts. And not only that, has to go to Hogwarts with his cousin's kids. I just thought that'd be cool. So that is one thing that I would have changed. I don't think I would have killed Hedwig. But you know what? It's Jo's book. It's her sandbox. I'm not going to mess with it. For this week's question, we have we have 3 questions with the quote. It's not really a quote per se, but it comes from Deathly Hallows. And I just love the whole concept of the trio. I think that the idea that the love and the friendship between the trio that sustains Harry through all these terrible times and wonderful times, they're there with him through thick and thin, or sick and sin. I love that. And it's when Ron comes back, and I'm going to read a little bit of it because you got to kind of preface the quote or it doesn't make any sense. So here we go. Him. The thing that had lived in the Horcrux had vanished, torturing Ron had been its final act. The sword clanged as Ron dropped it. He had sunk to his knees, his head in his arms. He was shaking, but not, Harry realized, from cold. Harry crammed the broken locket into his pocket, knelt down beside Ron, and placed a hand cautiously on his shoulder. He took it as a good sign that Ron did not throw it off. After you left, he said in a low voice, grateful for the fact that Ron's face was hidden, she cried for a week. Probably longer, only she didn't want me to see. There were loads of nights when we never spoke to each other. With you gone, he could not finish. It was only now that Ron was here again that Harry fully realized how much his absence had cost them. And then here's my favorite quote. It is. She's like my sister, he went on. I love her like a sister, and I reckon she feels the same way about me. It's always been like that. I thought you knew. And I don't know why this particular scene just strikes such a chord with me, but I just love the purity of the friendship and the fact that Harry recognizes at a very young age that he can have a pure friendship and a loving friendship, and he can say that he loves her at an age when not a lot of boys can say that about their girlfriends. And I think that it's a beautiful sentiment, and I just love Harry for that. I just do. I just love Harry for that. So that's my favorite quote. I know that there are others. I do love the quote that Dumbledore says, as Lizzie had pointed out, about, it's our abilities that shape, or it's our choices that shape us, not our abilities. I think that that is just absolutely classic quote. But for some reason, that particular passage that I just read from Deathly Hallows has always stayed with me. So that's why I shared it with you tonight. Thank you very much. Lizzie wants to know about other books that we like to read. That's so not fair, because I'm not going to sit here and self-promote. Although I have to say, some nights I will sit here and read through my own books. The ones that are coming up especially, because it just helps center me and focus me, and it makes me feel good. But I think of the ones that are out there right now, there's a couple of paranormal romance or urban fantasy authors that I like, and I'm following their series. One is J.R. Ward, who has the Brotherhood of the Black Dagger series. Addie's reading that right now. Hot, hot, hot. I mean, how can you not love 6'6", muscular men, vampires, without any body hair, who can tie cherry stems around their fangs with their tongues? It's all good. It's all good. So I do love the Brotherhood series. I think that, again, it's about that camaraderie and that friendship, and these males who are not related, for the most part, banding together against an enemy that's threatening their entire race. And a lot of times, it's the interaction between the brothers that I find more intriguing than it is necessarily the romance part of it, although the romance is pretty good. But anyway, another paranormal author that I follow is Sherilyn Kenyon, and she writes the Dark Hunter series. Again, it's vampires. I'm sensing a theme. But her vampires are kind of based almost in mythological terms. She developed a whole world, and it's based out of the pantheons, and it's very, very interesting how she has worked her world. And I met this author about a month ago, and the nicest, sweetest, most gracious, wonderful woman I've ever met in my life. So, I would say, yeah, those are two that I really, really enjoy. And you know what? I'm a nerd. I like Lord of the Rings. I think it's hard for me to read at this point. I just don't have the brain power to spare to be able to figure it all out. I love the Wizard of Oz series. All the books. I think I've read all 48 that there are out there. Chronicles of Narnia. Gotta love that. Wrinkle in Time. I just reread that because my daughter brought it home from school. She was reading it for a book report, and I had forgotten how much I love that. Yeah. So, I think that's it. Lots of exciting news coming from LeakyCon. Be sure to keep a watch on the forums and on the LeakyCon website. I'm getting so excited for this. I cannot believe that Terminus is only 12 weeks away. Oh my god. It's going to be so much fun. Rocket! And I think that's it. Oh, and I did get my hair done seeing No More Silverbacking. So that's it. I miss you guys. I love you. It was great seeing you this week as a guest commentator, Miss Ashley Bomashley. Lizzie, your face was just priceless. I love you. I just love you. MJ, miss you terribly. I just need to sit and look at you and laugh, because when we're together we laugh so much. Josh, you always crack me up. Mom, I'm coming! Oh my god, I thought I was going to pee my pants. Andy, I'm so glad you got the job, and darling, I wish the best for you. I really hope everything works out. I don't know what's going on, but I hope it works out. So good karma, good karma, good karma. And of course, Gimmers. Oh, Kimmy, you're just adorable. I love you. And I'll never make fun of the way you talk. Because if I make fun of the way you talk, you'll make fun of the way I talk, and then it can get ugly. Because I think you can whoop my ass. But anyway, I miss you guys all terribly. And to our other 30-some-odd subscribers, what are you thinking? But thank you. Until next week, I bid you adieu. Bye, guys.